Yeah, that's basically my reaction to this whole thing. Hey everybody, Trevor here, and today I'm making this video regarding this fact sheet that Mattel sent us. I found this on the Thomas Wooden Railway Wiki, and yes, I'm still gonna call it that, and I would like to give my thoughts on it. And don't worry, I promise that this will be the last time I rant on Thomas Wood, because otherwise I'll end up repeating myself over and over and over again. Though, I would like to make some top videos about the classic wooden railway, like the top 10 worst wooden railway items or top 10 characters who should have been released for that line. In this video, I'll be skipping some parts of this fact sheet and only talk about the things I want to counter-argue with, because if I read the whole thing to you guys, we'll be here all day. The very top of the page says, "Sometimes change is a good thing." Okay, first off, not all change is good. And secondly, Thomas Wood is a perfect example of bad change. If you want a better example of good change, Mattel, I'll give you one. Thomas and Friends Adventures. The Adventure series is a proper successor to Take and Play. I mean, let's face it guys, Take and Play started going downhill in late 2014 because of the bulky bodies and dumb bipolar magnets. The problem with these new Take and Play designs is that their new magnets look too similar to wooden railways, and the new bodies don't look as realistic as the old ones. Thankfully, in 2017, Adventures was born, and thus Take and Play was finally put to rest, even though the models themselves still retain their bulky bodies, but at least they replaced the bipolar magnets with the hook and loop couplings, which kind of remind me of the good old days of Earl Thomas. The next part is, we want children to have the best possible playtime experience, so after years of talking with parents and watching kids play, we've reimagined Thomas and Friends wood engines and train sets. Well, according to the review post on toysrus.com, a lot of kids and parents didn't like these new toys because of how cheap and lazy they look compared to the classic wooden railway designs. If you guys want more detail on that, please look back in the last video where I talk about why the "it's for kids" argument doesn't work. The redesigned engines have a fresh coat of paint that brings the warmth and beauty of wood to the surface. Fresh, more like unfinished. In fact, the engine's rolling stock and road vehicles feel so naked without the extra coating on the bare spots. Also, I don't really care what type of wood they use, whether it's beech wood or whatever, as long as they make the models look finished like in the classic era. Let's talk about the frequently asked questions next. I want to talk about some of this because it contains answers that are pretty important, so you may have to remember all this. Let's look at the second question. Where can we get adapters to connect the new and old track? Every Thomas and Friends wood item that comes with track or is intended to connect to track comes with two adapters, one male and one female. This includes all the new train sets, destinations, and track packs. To tell you the truth, guys, I actually did get a couple of these adapters at my local Barnes & Noble just to remind myself that wooden railway is unfortunately dead. But last time I heard about them is that they're only available for a short time. But that's about to change, according to this sheet. I also got the candy cars at Barnes & Noble because I'm planning to repaint them with oil paint whenever I get the chance. I don't want to use washable paint anymore because it doesn't stay on very well. Then maybe I'll make a full video about them once they're complete. Then I can show you guys. Okay folks, now here is the most important part of the page. What I'm about to read to you will shock some of you. Heck, I was baffled too when I first found out the truth about wood's existence. Here it is. Why is there more exposed wood in the new Thomas & Friends wood toys? The new design tested very well with parents and kids during development. The exposed wood highlights the premium, sustainably sourced beech wood and helps differentiate wooden Thomas toys from other Thomas segments, providing a clearer, easier shopping experience. It also helps young children easily tell the difference between the wood engines in their toy box versus the motorized or die-cast. So if they're playing on the wood track, they can quickly grab the appropriate engine. Oh my god. You serious, Mattel? Seriously, when I first read this, my initial thoughts were, Mattel, how stupid do you think kids are? Really? Hell, I was a little boy when Wooden Railway first came out, and even I knew what wood looks and feels like, especially if it's fully painted. I may not be the targeted demographic for Thomas Wood, but I don't care. I still think kids deserve better quality toys than this, like Legos, Barbie dolls, Hot Wheels, etc, etc, etc. Heck, I could even say that the Elmo toys are better than this, and I hate Elmo. Let's read one more. What's the benefit of the new track and connectors? Our new track is designed to be kid-friendly so children can build by themselves. We've done away with specialty pieces like the 2-inch male, since all track pieces are a standard length. The track connectors are designed so any two pieces will always connect. Because our new track connectors offer a sure fit every time, kids can build without frustration. There's no wrong way to connect, there's no wrong way to build. I'm not going to make a lot of comments on this one, but as mentioned in the first video, I can understand why they did this. Though, I still prefer the old track connectors because that's what we're all used to. Well, that's the end of the 2018 fact sheet. Now there's good news and bad news. The good news is, at least our questions are finally answered on why wood exists in the first place. The bad news is, Mattel is still not getting any better than this. Again, they don't even seem to care about the criticism they received from customers and fans alike. All they care about is money and political agenda. Mattel needs to stop this right now. Though I don't think they're going to listen anyway because they are that ignorant. Just like Viacom and all those other greedy companies who only care for the money and not the whole audience. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you like Thomas Wood, that's fine. Just don't use the "it's for kids" argument. Otherwise, you'll just make yourself look like an idiot. I know there are some people who legitimately like this new toy range. For instance, it gives them the opportunity to paint the unpainted spots, and people can make custom domes out of clay or something like that. There! Those are perfect examples of good reasons for liking Thomas Wood. There, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm sorry for repeating myself a little bit, but that's why I'm making this my last rant on wood. I hope Mattel will get better, though I highly doubt it now. I'll still watch the show, but I'm not expecting Big World Big Adventures to be as good as seasons 17 through 21, because that was and will always be the true Renaissance era for Thomas and Friends, not this new reboot. So anyways, this is Trevor Davis, signing out.